So what do we need to get ready for? Meteorologist Chesley McNeil has been warning us for days now about this. Chesley, it's really timing and temperature that matters most with this thing, right?
You are absolutely right. Right now, we're not looking at any winter precipitation around. Of course, we have the clouds in place, but that cold air will make its way down to the south, which will bring in also some moisture, and the two combined will create ice for us. It's more of a freezing rain event at this particular point, Dan. We're looking at freezing rain. That's going to be the impacts for us, and freezing rain creates devastating impacts. We're talking about rain, or at least liquid, coming from the sky as liquid. Now, once it hits the surface, say for instance your car, or if you have a wooden patio or a deck, once it hits that, because the temperatures will be down below freezing, it will freeze on contact. That's going to create a glaze. It will do so on the sidewalks, also on the road, the trees, power lines, and the heavier that gets, of course, that starts to weigh things down, especially when we're talking about trees and power lines. So that's going to be the impacts for us as we head into tomorrow. Tomorrow is when we're expecting to get in here. We have the watches in effect. We saw these yesterday, mainly for our northern counties. Now has been extended a little bit further down to the south to include the Atlanta metro area, as far south as Spalding and Butts County. And now we also have an ice storm warning. You see these counties highlighted in the purple here. We're talking about Forsyth, Dawson, extending up toward the northeast into Rabun County, extending eastward over into Elbert County. That includes Jackson and Madison County as well, and counties in between. We're talking about ice accumulations in this particular area, maybe up to an inch in accumulation, and that can prove to be very devastating. Okay, so that's something that we'll be watching out for, especially in that area. Models coming together. We've been talking about this really all week long, how the European model and the American model, what they look like. These are two major models that we look at. We look at others, but these are showing pretty much the same thing now. They're coming together. One, the American model, a little bit further to the west, including some of our western counties, and a little bit further down to the south. But generally speaking, up here from Atlanta to the northeast is where we're looking at some higher accumulations of ice. And you can see that on our model here. Now, I want you to pay close attention to this pink area from Murrayville all the way up to Tiger into Rabun County. That's what we're looking at. If you match the colors here with our legend, that shows about an inch of ice. An inch of ice, okay? And that would be very, very heavy, again, on power lines and on trees and on some of the surfaces that where the ice would accumulate. You extend that down into Atlanta, you can see on our legend, maybe getting up to about 1/4 of an inch, maybe up to 1/2 an inch in some spots as well. So that's going to be very treacherous as well. So you have to be on the lookout. When we're talking about 1/10 of an inch of ice, you're talking about light glaze on some of the roads and sidewalks. Also, you're looking at it accumulating on car surfaces, isolated power outages possible. 1/4 of an inch of ice. You're talking about numerous outages, and that's what we can expect right here in the metro area. 1/2 an inch or better. Well, you're looking at dangerous travel conditions, and also we'll be looking at long-term power outages. You're talking about major damage to trees and power lines as well, and so, again, a very treacherous situation. As you look at the radar now, not much showing up here. We do have some isolated showers that are around, clouds for the most part, and today will be mild. Temperatures are starting off in the 40s, of course, but we're watching for some of these isolated showers to pop up, and they could break out, so go ahead and grab that rain gear, take it with you. You may just need that. Temperatures are in the 40s as we speak, upper 40s as a matter of fact. In Atlanta right now, it's 48 degrees, and we'll be going up into the 50s as we head into the afternoon. Notice not much back behind us or upstream as of yet. That system that we've been talking about still getting underway. If you look over here toward Texas, for example, let me just show you this. Over toward Texas right now, we have showers. All right, that cold air is just to the north. As that cold air makes its way a little bit further down to the south, we'll see that changeover into freezing rain, even snow that will start to develop to the north of this. As it begins to push to the east, that's when it will start to spread eastward into Louisiana, places like Arkansas, and eventually over toward our region as well. Snow further up to the north. We're talking about freezing rain for our area. Here's how it plays out. Forecast track model. There's the time right there at the top of the screen. It shows the wet weather for today. Again, if we see any showers at all, it'll be the isolated variety around. We're going to hold on to the cloud cover for much of the afternoon into tonight. When you wake up tomorrow morning, nothing out there yet. We'll have mostly cloudy skies. If any precipitation gets in here, it'll be to the far northwest. Likely in the form of snow first. And then we'll start to see it begin to mix with some freezing rain, eventually changing over to freezing rain. It'll be up here to the north first. So this is by 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Any precipitation around the metro area and southward will be in the form of rain. Eventually, that's going to make its way down to the south as well as that colder air begins to evect in. And so we'll see those temperatures dropping. And so we'll start to see that change over into freezing rain through the overnight, especially into Saturday. Saturday overnight going into Sunday, I think it will become a little bit more widespread as far as the freezing rain goes. And I think it will become heavy through the overnight as that moisture continues to build into our area. So we'll get heavy bouts of this moving through our area. Here we are by Sunday in the wee hours of the morning, especially into the early morning. We're expecting that freezing rain to continue in the area. Heavier rain back off to the west of us as the temperature starts to go up a little bit as we head into Saturday, or Sunday rather. We'll start to see it begin to mix with some rain and then eventually change over to rain, maybe even a clap of thunder in some spots before it begins to taper off by the time we get to late Sunday afternoon. Now, it's done. But we're not done, okay? Colder air will begin to evect into our area. We'll be seeing those temperatures beginning to fall, and so those frozen conditions will continue as we head into Monday. We're talking about temperatures going down around the freezing mark, and so those effects from the ice will continue into Monday, possibly into Tuesday as well, as the temperature will be around 15 degrees starting off on Tuesday morning. We'll be in the 30s, of course, and then we'll see the 40s as we head into Wednesday. So some long-term effects, but everything starting for us by tomorrow afternoon. Dan, back to you.
Chesley, in the meantime, we are all rooting from the couch for some warmer temps on Sunday and Monday to take care of this ice. I mean, have you seen in the last few days the temps gradually warming or going the other direction? No,
going down. That's why I'm saying on Monday, those temperatures will be trending downward. Now, you're talking about during the system, there is a possibility that we can get some warmer air in here. Really depends on two things. Well, the track of the low. If the low goes a little bit further to the north, then that nose, that warm nose could get in here. And then we're concerned about the wedge that's going to set up. How quickly will that wedge break down? We'll be watching that on Sunday. If it breaks down quickly, then by early afternoon, we can see it switch over to all rain. If it hangs on a little while longer, that means prolonged amounts of ice, mainly up toward the northeast where we're showing you that bullseye, but it could hang on there. And if it hangs on, again, we're talking about maybe an inch, maybe even more of ice in that area, which is going to be very, very devastating. You're talking about roads where you can't even get out. You can't even get out. You got to stay in.
And how odd is it to see on Monday just a 1 degree difference between the low and the high? You don't see that often.
No, not at all. That means that temperature's not going to change much. In fact, it could be even colder than what we have on our maps here. We're watching for that. I think it could trend colder. That's why I was saying after the storm, it's going to last even longer. Even after the precipitation gone, folks thinking they can get out probably will not be able to get out because of the refreezing that's going to take place on the roads from all the wet weather.
All right, Chesley, thank you so much. He's been with us every day this week, helping us make sense of the storm. We appreciate that update.